Thomas.
Hey, Ian.
Yeah.
This is a great pleasure to meet the master behind the SAGA, one of those historical bands I've been a fan too. And I remember when I was a teenager listening to some scary guitar playing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I was a little out of control. And since then, in the 80s, you know, there's been so many guitar players coming up, and, you know, back then I had really good edge. And still do have, you know, my own style.
Sure, sure. And do you have any heroes when you were younger?
Oh, yeah, it's Jeff Beck,
Sure.
Jimi Hendrix, Eric Clapton, all of these guys. When I grew up, they were just coming out.
Yeah, yeah.
I was 13 or something, you know.
I see.
So I was learning off these kind of guitar players because I'm self-taught. So,
me too.
Yeah.
But I think there's a secret to self-taught musicians. You come up or you end up with your own style.
Yeah?
Because I think it's like you can try to learn other people's music, but you're almost getting there, but you're not almost. And the little bit which is almost makes you special. And I think this is how probably you got your style and I got mine too.
Yeah, I gave up. I mean, I learned off other guitar players, putting the record on and slowing it down with my thumb.
Yeah.
And the tone changes too, right? So we're trying to figure it out. I had no idea how to play at first, you know.
Yeah.
And this went on for a few years till I was about 16 or 15, 16. And then I took that away, and it's one of my own. And
This was it?
yeah, I had a friend in Toronto, bass player, and we played all the time. Kept me out of trouble.
Okay, good.
You know.
It's always good to have a friend.
Yeah, yeah.
So how is life in Toronto, Canada? I mean, you speak English, I guess, because the other part of Canada speaks French.
Quebec.
Quebec.
Yeah, there's 12 provinces. One is French.
So,
but we're intermingled a bit too.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's English speaking. I mean, once again, when I grew up there was like not nearly as many people. It was really nice. I could go downtown when I was 12 years old and walk around. You wouldn't do that now.
I see.
You know, Toronto's become, it's not so dangerous, but it can be. And all people from all over now live there. So it's a whole different city. Crowded. I moved out.
Okay.
Yeah, I moved out years ago to Wayne Gretzky's town, Brantford.
Okay,
the
that
hockey player, big famous hockey player.
Okay, sounds more like a secret place to me.
Yeah.
I've never been to. Yeah, cool.
Pace like a tight wound pump. Be sure you don't step his way. You keep those numbers rolling. This may be his last day. All the bets are taken. I'll do like to smoke.
So, and I know you play diesel amps.
I do.
Yeah.
Peter Diesel.
Great guy, great amps, tube guy, you know, the real deal.
The real deal.
And
I mean, they really kick butt. That's a really nice amp. And since then, I've discovered your amp, the Amp 1, which is...
this little tiny box here?
This one right here, and it'll drive my 412 cabinet. The good thing about this for me is, you know, when we play internationally, I get on the rider, I get gear supplied.
Right.
And I'll get a Marshall 2000 or whatever. I asked for a diesel, but they're hard to, they're a kind of a lead amp thing, right? So I usually end up with the Marshall 2000, which, you know, flip a coin if it sounds any good, because some of them are great.
Absolutely.
And some of them are just awful.
Yeah, I know.
So this guy goes into my carry-on in the plane and solves all the problems. And I'm using, you know,
international power. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anywhere in the world, and it sounds the same. That's the key.
It's nice. Yeah, it's nice and fat. I mean, I play that thing on 4, and and it's like turn down, Ian, turn down. You know?
Cool. So I sometimes go up to 6. But
well, I can creep up there. As the keyboards start getting louder, you'll see me reach over. And
any other things in your settings? Where do you have bass and mids? Is it in the middle or all the way up? Or?
Pretty much in the middle. Pretty much in the middle. With my blue Lado, it has a lot of bottom, so I roll a bit of that off.
Okay.
You know, just a bit of that because it's got a lot. And the fine tuners on the side, I got to set those up really good. I find the boost too, the boost button, very nice.
Okay.
You know, I got to remember to turn it off though.
You like it that much?
No, I forget.
I see.
You know, and you start playing and going, wait a minute, I'm a little bit. Oh,
it's a bit too much. Yeah, but it's for me. I wanted to make a thing that has everything on it, so you are safe anywhere you go.
And it's proven to do that to me.
Super.
All year, And I've been going to Vancouver, down to Panama, all over the place, and I sound the same.
Yeah,
you know.
super. And what other gear do you use effect-wise? Do you have delay pedals or chorus, or I have no idea.
Well, I'm Mr. Dryman, really. I use none except for I'm using the clean sound in here. So a lot of times in my setup, I'll have 2 amps. Because I've always found that 1 amp, for me, it's either a great amp for, you know, heavy guitars, mid guitars, or you have to get another, so I use the Roland Jazz 120 chorus, you know, and an AB box and go back and forth. But I've been using the BluGuitar. I find it's really good. Once it's very flat when the clean comes in, it sounds great. So I pizzazz it up a bit with a boss chorus, just a little, which is a 2-move thing, but it sounds sweet, really sweet, and that's all I'm using. So I'm not using 2 amplifiers. So it's just one 412 cabinet and
that's it?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, it makes me happy to hear that people like you play this little thing that I've first designed for myself.
Well, it has a tube in it. This is a 100-watt tube amplifier,
absolutely.
right?
It uses a total analog signal path with the tube in the power amp stage as a driver. I'm doing this for, you know, as long as playing the guitar, and this is kind of a mixture of different analog technologies to get what a real classic tube amp would do without having all the parts that have to wait. So no transformers, old school, not the big glass. This is a nano tube, and it's what I've learned over the last 35 years, and well,
I'm really impressed with it.